So the world can really be so small at times. I went to just to purchase a green juice in a shop, and I discovered a mega big Chinese mall inside this plaza. The plaza was almost empty. It was a Sunday, and many of the shops were already out of business. So I thought, where are all these people from the parking lots coming from? They were coming with merchandise in their hands, and I was wondering, where are they coming from, from which places they're purchasing all this stuff. Of course, it's Christmas time, people spending, but nonetheless I was very curious about it. So I decided to take a look and went inside the plaza, and oh my god, I discovered this very big, a warehouse. It was previously, I am supposing it was a supermarket, the size of those kind of big huge supermarkets, because nowadays they have little ones, express styles. Anyways, it was just huge. At the entrance, this shop had some kind of toy machines, and at once I knew they were from China. And then I started looking around, and I was like, is this a Chinese shop? Because somehow it looked like one, but there were non-Chinese around. So, and there was nothing like Chinese signs, or the name of the shop wasn't in Chinese. It was called Casa Serena, which is in Spanish, a full Spanish name. So I was very curious about it, and I just started walking in and in. And the more I walk, the more I discover the huge, the dimension of the place, how huge that place was. And I was really so amazed, because previous to that I had visited another kind of warehouse shop, just like the ones I was talking to you guys about in these past few videos. Now the current business model for Chinese here in Mexico, where you can find all in one place, everything regarding a household usual utensils, let's say, home decor, sportswear, pets, shoes, swimsuits, beauty, kitchenware, you name it. You know what I mean, right? What else? How to call the paperwork, notebooks and pencils, office things. And not just that, this one shop had even the jiaju, furniture for home, sofa, and for the garden, for the outdoor, lighting, LED lighting for inside and out. And of course they have a lot of Christmas decorations. It was crazy how big this shop was, even to the point that I published that video in my Spanish account, and one of the followers commented, wow, this one shop or this one business model will be the competition for Home Depot. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of Home Depot. I am maybe thinking it's from the USA. It's a USA brand, I'm not sure. But Home Depot is a store specializing in home, everything regarding homes, I believe. So you can find there a lot of things, from light bulbs, lighting, garden lights, etc. And this shop just had everything. There were so many mirrors, art decorations, even it's chairs, everything. Anyways, I was super surprised at the business model scale. At the same time, it was a Sunday, and there were so many Mexican families going inside and going outside with the trolley full. They had trolleys. They have even kids strollers for kids to put toys. There were so many toys there, because it's Christmas time, so Santa is coming soon, and there were so many toys for children all around the shop. There's a children area, but there's also school bags and all these hair accessories for kids, for children. Anyhow, it was huge. When I was about to pay, the cashier that I lined up for was so very slow. She was a Mexican employee. I am guessing it was quite new. I ended up discovering this shop just have like 10 days of opening, so it's super new, guys. While I was recording the previous videos, this was happening literally. Like my first videos about like this Mexican whole business situation, when they were closing there, people is opening here. And by the way, hold on, I will tell you something. Anyways, the cashier was quite slow, and then I ended up changing for the Chinese one guy that was like taking care at the other one cashier. I thought that he was more agile. He was faster somehow, and I lined up there. And when I arrived to the counter, I was like, wow, 这是员工很慢. Like, these employees are so slow, because people were already complaining in that line, like, oh, it's such a mess. It was like half an hour waiting there, and he's like, 不好意思,我们新开的. Like, I'm so sorry, we just opened. I was like, okay. And after that, he realized, like, what? Are you speaking Chinese? And then we start speaking for a few minutes, to the point that he left the cashier to another Chinese worker. And he started talking to me about this shop that they just opened 10 days ago, that they previously were also living in Mexico City and working there, but they moved here, and now they open here in Huacha, in Guadalajara. And somehow it was very hard for them to find good employees. Somehow it's not easy for Mexicans, or it's not easy for them to hire Mexicans, because it's hard for them to train them. Somehow they don't stay up to their standards, like their productivity, or they're quite slow, or they don't catch up, or they do this or that. I mean, it's not a complaint, but it's usually like that. They think like they have to be working faster, or like doing always something, and Mexicans are like, if we don't have anything to do, why we have to do something, etc. Anyhow, he was like, if you have any friends that want to work here, welcome to like promote it. By the way, if you want to know, the wage is 2,000 to 3,000 pesos per week, and it's a total of 48 hours work a week, so it's 8 hours a day job. So this means like maybe it's gonna be like 8,000 to 12,000 peso every month. What do you guys think about this salary? Anyways, he said, like, although up to him the salary was not bad, people are not willing to work easily. At least he said that for Guadalajara. He said in Mexico things were a little bit different, but here it's not the same, that it's not easy to find employees. And I have seen videos also in the Chinese internet that they so many entrepreneurs here making business from China, like Chinese, have this same concern regarding hiring good employees, or at least keeping them, hiring them, and them always coming to work. He also mentioned, like, if they don't come one day because this or that happened, that they are not very loyal, to the job, or they are not very strict. This work ethic is quite loose. Anyways, we stayed talking for a while, and then I said, like, okay, I'm just gonna tell my friends around, or my followers, if anyone wants to go and work there, for sure I can help you with that. You can pass me your WeChat, and that's it. So we exchanged WeChats, and somehow when I arrived at home, he texted me this. He was like, I thought your eyesight was quite familiar. And then I checked, and I follow you in Douyin. And I'm like, what? He said all this in Chinese. He was like, what? Ni de Yangwang. It was Yangwang, or what was it? What was the word? Anyways, he said, like, my eyesight, or my sight, how to call it, my eyes were quite familiar to him. And he ended up checking, and he realized that he followed me previously from Douyin. And I was quite wondering, curious, because I don't upload content to Douyin. And I say, Douyin? Which Douyin? I said TikTok, and I'm like, oh, which TikTok? Because I have two accounts. I usually upload content. I started uploading content in my Spanish business account from ChinaWeLove.tv and Spanish culture and love stories account marcarib. So I have these two, and I upload the content that I also produce for YouTube in those accounts. So surprisingly, they went somehow viral, some of these videos. I previously told you about this. And although TikTok is for short form videos, they like it there. I haven't uploaded these English videos because I wasn't expecting that kind of virality. And somehow it got into my nerves at some points because the comments were not very welcoming, and I'm not sure how it's going to be if I upload this in the English, for an English audience, which is even broader. And if somehow one of these videos got picked up by the algorithm in the TikTok platform, I'm not even ready for that. Already handling or overcoming the virality and the sometimes not very welcoming welcoming watchers or commenters there is quite enough for me. So I decided maybe it's just good to stay here in YouTube. Anyhow, he somehow followed me from ChinaWeLove.tv business Spanish account. I believe he might not be understanding much there because, as far as I know, I'm not sure, to be honest, but I'm not sure whether there you can watch and understand like subtitle versions of other language videos. Let's say I'm speaking there in Spanish. Can he watch the content in Chinese? I'm not sure. Or maybe he can watch it in English if he understands, or maybe even he understands Spanish. I'm not even sure because at that moment when we met, we didn't have this conversation regarding his Spanish language skills. Anyhow, somehow he followed me there, even previous to that meeting. So it was such a coincidence, like the Chinese used to say, a yuan fan. Like somehow I was lined up in a cashier where the cashier assistant was too slow, and I ended up changing to that one. And somehow we ended up meeting, and he was quite nice, not like all Chinese working here or having business here are in the mood sometimes to talk to you. Maybe they have challenges or problems or whatever, and they are not, always with the attitude towards us, like to have a chat. Anyhow, somehow I do believe his attitude was quite warm towards me. He was very positive, very happy to meet me. And when he found out I was like this TikToker, by the way, in that account I have over 300,000 followers, Sanjuduowan fans, he was quite surprised, and he told me like, when will I go back to the shop to talk business with his Laoban, with the boss, because we could have some kind of business cooperation. And he also mentioned that he has a few other fellow partners to cooperate with regarding car repairing. Guys, that I was also talking about this like reparation of cars. It was a business idea suggested by one of them, like one of the Chinese influencers I follow. And somehow he also mentioned this. So this is what ended up happening, and I thought it was hilarious. You never know who's watching. Seriously, at this point, I don't know who is watching, although sometimes you think nobody's watching, or people, like just a few people is watching, or doesn't matter. They don't care. Maybe they don't comment. They don't talk to you. You don't even know who's at the other side of the screen. But somebody is watching to the point that, wow, you get to meet them somehow in life, like physically. You end up crossing paths, and they previously already knew about your existence. That was just nuts. So I am very excited and happy and curious about what is the future for this channel in regards to like my followers, my subscribers, and our future to come. I mean, like, you are watching this, you might be learning, you might be entertained, but who knows? We might also end up meeting or having some kind of collaboration in the hopefully not very far away future. So, yeah, cheers to good life.